Have you ever wondered why our brains, the powerhouse of our bodies, are so vulnerable, especially during the developmental phase? This intriguing question may have crossed your mind at some point. After all, the brain is not just an organ. It's the command center of our bodies, the repository of our memories, the source of our thoughts, emotions, and even our very consciousness. Yet, paradoxically, this crucial organ is also incredibly delicate, particularly during its developmental phase. Now you might be asking, why is that? The human brain is a marvel, a complex network of billions of neurons, intricately linked and communicating in ways we are still struggling to fully comprehend. From the moment of birth, and even before that, our brains are growing, changing, and adapting. This period of development is a time of incredible potential, but it's also a time of vulnerability. Why so? Well, think of the brain as a house under construction. In the early stages, the foundation is being laid, the frame is being built, and the wiring is being installed. Everything is exposed and susceptible to damage. A single mistake can have far-reaching consequences. The same principle applies to our developing brains. They are in a state of flux, constantly forming new connections and pathways, which makes them particularly susceptible to injury and disruption. The aim of this video is to delve deeper into this fascinating topic. We'll explore the latest research findings to understand why our brains are so vulnerable during their developmental phase, what factors contribute to this vulnerability, and what we can do to protect and nurture these vital organs during this critical period. Understanding the brain's development and its inherent vulnerability is not just a scientific curiosity. It's a topic that has profound implications for everything from education and parenting to mental health and medicine. So, are you ready to join us on this journey of discovery? Let's unravel this mystery together. To understand the vulnerability of developing brains, we first need to understand how brains develop. Brain development is a fascinating journey that begins right at conception. In the womb, neurons are formed at an astonishing rate. By the time a baby is born, they have most of the neurons they'll ever have, over 100 billion of them. But it's not just about the number of neurons, it's about the connections they make. The first few years of life are crucial for brain development. This period is characterized by rapid growth and change. During this time, the brain is incredibly active, creating new connections and pathways. This is when the foundation for all future learning, behavior, and health is laid down. As children grow, their brains continue to evolve, pruning away unused connections and strengthening those that are frequently used. This is why early experiences are so important. They shape the architecture of the brain and influence the strength and function of these connections. Adolescence brings another burst of rapid brain development. The prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making, impulse control, and understanding consequences, undergoes significant changes. It's the last part of the brain to fully develop, which is why teenagers sometimes make impulsive decisions or struggle with understanding the long-term consequences of their actions. Running parallel to all these stages of development is the concept of brain plasticity. Plasticity refers to the brain's ability to change and adapt as a result of experience. It's highest in early childhood, but continues throughout life. This adaptability is a double-edged sword. It means the brain can learn and adapt, but it also makes it susceptible to harm and negative experiences. Now that we understand the basics of brain development, we can delve into why it is so vulnerable. The brain's incredible flexibility during development is a double-edged sword. This metaphor encapsulates the paradox of a developing brain. On one side, it's a fascinating instrument of learning and growth, constantly adapting and rewiring itself in response to new experiences and information. This is what we call brain plasticity, the brain's amazing ability to change and adapt throughout life. However, like a sword, this feature has another edge. Just as the brain's plasticity allows for learning and growth, it also makes the brain susceptible to damage and negative influences. It's a bit like being a sponge, soaking up everything in the environment, the good and the bad. Let's take environmental factors as an example. The developing brain is highly sensitive to its surroundings. A nurturing, stimulating environment helps the brain to thrive, forming strong connections and pathways. But exposure to adverse conditions, such as chronic stress, neglect, or abuse, can disrupt these essential processes. These negative experiences can leave lasting scars, influencing the brain's structure and function in ways that can persist into adulthood. Nutritional deficiencies are another key factor that can impact brain development. The brain needs a steady supply of nutrients to grow and function properly. A lack of essential nutrients during critical stages of development can hinder the brain's growth, affecting cognitive abilities and mental health. And then there's trauma. Whether it's a physical injury or emotional distress, trauma can have a profound impact on a developing brain. It can alter the brain's structure, disrupt normal functioning, and even slow down the development process. So it's a complex landscape. The brain's flexibility, its very capacity for growth and change, is what makes it so vulnerable during development. It's a period of incredible potential, but also significant risk. So we see how the developing brain's flexibility can also make it vulnerable. But what does the latest research say? Let's delve into that in the next segment. Recent studies have shed new light on the vulnerability of the developing brain. The latest research has unveiled some fascinating insights into why developing brains are so susceptible to adversity and stress. For instance, studies from top neuroscience labs around the globe have shown that early life stress can have a profound impact on brain development. Imagine a seedling growing in rocky soil, struggling to reach the sunlight. This is akin to a young brain trying to grow and develop amidst adverse conditions such as neglect, abuse, or severe stress. The roots of the brain, like the roots of the seedling, are affected, leading to changes in brain structure and function. But what does this mean in real terms? Well, the areas of the brain that regulate emotion and stress response, the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex, are particularly vulnerable. Early life stress can lead to these regions developing differently, which can impact a child's ability to manage their emotions and respond to stress. Yet, it's not just about the environment. Genetics also plays a pivotal role. It's like a dance between nature and nurture, where our genes provide the basic blueprint, but our experiences can shape how that blueprint unfolds. Some individuals may have genetic variations that make them more susceptible to the effects of stress on brain development. Now, this might sound disheartening, but there's a silver lining. The research also reveals an incredible capacity for recovery and resilience. The brain is a dynamic, changing organ, constantly forming new connections and pathways. This means that with the right interventions and a supportive environment, it's possible to mitigate the effects of early life stress on the brain. Interventions like cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness, and even regular physical activity have all been shown to help promote healthy brain development, even in the face of adversity. It's a testament to the brain's remarkable ability to heal and adapt. These findings underscore the importance of nurturing and protecting developing brains. The research is clear. Early experiences matter, and we all have a role to play in fostering healthy brain development. We've traveled a long way in understanding the developing brain's vulnerability. As we journeyed through the intricate landscape of the mind, we unearthed some fascinating truths. We began our exploration with the enigma that is the brain, a complex structure with billions of neurons. From there, we delved into the science of brain development. In the earliest stages of life, the brain undergoes rapid changes. From birth to age 3, it creates about 2 million new connections every second. It's a period of remarkable growth, but it's also a time of immense vulnerability. This vulnerability stems from the very nature of the developing brain. As it grows, it is continuously shaped and molded by experiences. The brain is like soft clay, impressionable and malleable. Positive experiences foster healthy development, while negative ones can leave lasting scars. We also discuss the impact of environmental factors on brain development. From the food we eat to the air we breathe, every aspect of our environment plays a role in shaping our brains. Even the seemingly insignificant details can have profound effects. For example, chronic stress can alter brain structure and function, leading to issues like anxiety and depression. Our exploration of the latest research findings provided further insights into the vulnerability of the developing brain. Scientists are continuously unearthing new information, helping us better understand the intricate interplay between genetics and environment and how it influences brain development. But it's not all doom and gloom. While the brain may be vulnerable, it's also incredibly resilient. It has an amazing capacity to adapt and heal. With the right care and support, it can overcome many challenges. By understanding the vulnerability of the developing brain, we can better support and protect our children, ensuring they reach their full potential. The brain might be vulnerable, but it is also incredibly resilient. Our understanding of this delicate balance is a powerful tool, one that can help us nurture the next generation of thinkers, innovators, and leaders.